That is at the center circle to start hostilities and the maiden appearances of the two sister teams in the all-Filipino initial possession going to the red shirts of Anejo. That's right. The 65ers are in the dark colored uniforms. If you're watching this in black and white, they are resplendent in a red and white outfit. If you're watching this in blazing color. Zilch all is the count. 20 seconds into the basketball game. Hector Calma, he too has a lot to prove. He was greatly overshadowed by Ronnie Magsanok and seems to have lost his stature as the premier point guard as a result of Magsanok's heroics.
That's correct, Joe. And here in the all-Filipino, Hector Calma should come back strong. And, well, Camboy Lim starting out strong for San Miguel Beer.
Well, he actually started this binge right in the All-Star game where he even won the MVP award.
That's correct.
Gonzalgo gets a nice screen from Advani, but bungles the opportunity. Pierce battle for the rebound, results in a foul.
What will be very important in this ball game, Joe, will be the rebounding numbers. Without Fernandez and Teng there, San Miguel Beer is not really noted as a strong rebounding team, and without their two top centers, they might even fall further behind Anejo, which is a good team rebounding, in team rebounding.
That's right. Well, the guys who will be expected to carry the burden for San Miguel in that department will be the guy who just fended off the attack of Dante Gonzalgo.
Yes, and he will have his hands full definitely against the Anejo front line tonight.
Well, joining him there will be Bobby Jose. All right, that's Bobby Jose taking the ball against Romulo Mamaril. Inside, penetration is beautifully executed.
Well, Bobby Jose gives a different dimension to the San Miguel Beer front line because of his slashing type moves inside the paint.
Well, we didn't see very much of that in the first conference. That's because he didn't get too much playing time.
Surprise
6-4,
hit.
yes.
Surprise hit by Mike Advani in the sense that he caught Hector Calma by surprise.
Well, Mike Advani has this penchant for catching a lot of people by surprise. Okay. Oh, very spirited drive inside. Went for naught. Counter pass breaking the works for the red shirts of Anejo. Loizaga setting up Advani for the open shot. Won't go. Just one crack that time for the 65ers. Hector Calma, the director. Dignatice, the executioner.
Yes, and that is to be expected. Of course, San Miguel Beer starts out very strong because they do have this tight starting unit. And, of course, it will be the bench that will be a question mark for them in this ball game.
And that was Philip Cesar coming through with a move that shows you that he is getting a fresh wind in an already storied career.
Well, just to dramatize the deficiency of the San Miguel Beer bench in this ball game, their frontline reserves.
I think he was the one responsible for keeping Ramon Fernandez on the bench because I think he accidentally elbowed the hip pointer of Mon Fernandez in a practice game.
Well, that's one way of getting increased playing time, of course.
We don't mean that he did that intentionally, of course. Maril coming through. We have an 8-all count. 8:35 left in the first period. Advani is on Hector Calma. Dignatice gets him a nice pick, and Calma extricates, misses the shot.
Loose ball foul. Ives Dignatice.
I wonder if you caught the game between the Pistons and Portland, game number 3, right on the home court of the Trail Blazers.
Well, unfortunately, I did not catch game number 3. I did catch game number 2, though.
Well, it was a very exhilarating experience for the Detroit Pistons because that was the first time they ever beat the Trail Blazers in their home court in 17 years.
That's correct. And maybe Portland was guilty of having history and the theoretical home court advantage playing for them instead of going out and proving themselves on the hard court.
Exactly. You don't lean too much on history.
That's correct.
Because it's history, precisely.
And history doesn't wear a uniform.
Bobby Jose takes a deep breath.
Sophomore out of University of Santo Tomas, and there's Mon Fernandez. No action for him tonight.
Well, he was sidelined in the same manner in the All-Star game, but then we got a very nice glimpse of him exchanging pleasantries with his so-called arch enemy, Sonny Jaworski.
He did even volunteer to act as sort of an assistant coach for that ball game.
I think he did that too. All right, inside Mamaril. Wow. He has a lucky streak going for him because the way he handled that ball before putting it up, he was a sucker for a swat.
Well, we're lucky he's not a member of a bomb disposal unit.
You bet. 1 point lead for Anejo. 7:22 left in the first period. Ives Dignarize found himself into deep. And there's Mamaril asserting might and main off the defensive board. Chito Loizaga ramming right into Hector Calma. Mike Advani. Tight squeeze inside the paint. Pays off. 3-point lead. 14-11 as we approach the halfway house of the first period. Jose to Ives Dignarize.
Traveling. That's right.
A bit too eager that time. So Anejo is protecting a 3-point lead. 14-11 is the count. Well, now is as good a time to perhaps acquaint our viewers, Mr. Maniego, with a format for this All-Filipino. Not that it's anything new.
Well, we're going to have the same format exactly as the first conference. So, as you mentioned, nothing new.
Double elimination round. And then 5 teams will make it to the semifinals where they play another double round series. Offensive rebounding might being displayed here by the San Miguel Beermen despite the absence of Juan Fernandez and Alvin Teng. And we have the first ceasefire of the ball game. 5:53 left in the first period. The score is 14-11 for Anejo. This is the main event of tonight's Independence Day doubleheader of the PBA All-Filipino. Samboy gets away scot-free.
Well, Dante Gonzalo did everything he could to stop Samboy, but Samboy took the baseline and got the basket. With 5 minutes and 38 seconds to go, Anejo leads by 1.
You know, if the Dragon can only keep away from injuries in this conference, he will be a mighty big factor in San Miguel's campaign.
And that's always the big if as far as Samboy Lim is concerned.
That's always a big if, yes. It's like whistling in the dark. 3-point bomb exploded by Chito Loizaga gives Anejo another instant 4-point lead.
But maybe this year, now that everybody's been mentioning about that possibility of an injury, maybe this is the year Samboy goes an entire season without checking into the hospital.
Hector Calma against Mike Advani. Samboy against Dante Gonzalo. Double team clamped on Samboy. Postanes gets into the scoring act.
Well, Don Postanes is an underrated player still because he has not adjusted to the tighter defenses being employed here in the PBA. But he will definitely emerge as a potent forward in time.
I'm afraid I can't really agree or disagree with you on that count, Mr. Maniego, because he has hardly had any playing time. So there's no basis for assessing his true worth. Well, he has the muscles for it. Here's Hector Calma. What he lacks in muscle, he more than makes up for in gray matter. All right, Bobby Jose at low post against Mamaril. Oh, what a beautiful umbrella block by Mamaril. That was a complete rejection.
Near traveling violation by Chito Loizaga.
Anejo protecting a 2-point lead. A clean steal there by Ives Dignarize. Almost a counter steal, but he regains his wits in time.
Virtuoso play by Ives Dignarize that time. We have a tight ball game at 17-all. 3:55 remaining.
Exactly. And that's Ives Dignarize rising to the burden of responsibility put squarely on his shoulders by the absence of 2 of the big men of San Miguel. Chito Loizaga doing what he does best, the express train act. You know, whenever these two meet, these two teams tangle, Mr. Maniego, somehow there's that air of animosity and intense rivalry that certainly is
hard to
strange.
Explain. Yes. Hard to explain, yes, because they are sister teams. However, well, of course, San Miguel should be the older of the 2 sisters, so maybe the younger sister Anejo has more to prove.
Well, you're not talking here of the players, because when it comes to players, I think the Anejo 65ers are the ones who are no longer spring chickens. You're talking of the corporate age.
Yes.
Okay. Here's Bobby Jose getting a nice screen from Dignarize in and out. Chito Loizaga unmolested in the rebound. They're ahead by 2, 21-19. Mike Advani against Hector Calma. They clear the left side of the court for Mike, but he goes to Philip. He's open. You know, in the All-Star game, he came in with a triple.
Yes.
Not really surprising to see Philip taking that kind of a shot. Lim preparing to make his move against Dante Gonzalo. Dante's practically growing hair, trying to contain Samboy. White hair, that is. Oh, nice home run by Prince Philip.
Well, Sambo Elims is really the toughest matchup as far as one of the toughest matchup as far as big guards are concerned. But of course, Dante Gonzalgo, one of the finest defenders of his breed.
No question about that. Calma, inside heavy traffic.
Actually, that was a prayer that was answered.
Good Lord, must be listening to him tonight. Advani almost leaving the ball behind, hits the deck, traveling. Mr. Maniego, would you like to share with us what you just got from the horse's mouth? And I'm talking of our chief statistician, Joe Concepcion.
Well, we will have the same format as the first conference, two divisions. Division A will play teams in Division B once, and they'll play the teams in the same division twice. So that means a total of 10 games in the elimination round. The top 5 teams, irregardless of group, will go into the semifinals. There will still be the 5 of 8 incentives for any team that doesn't land in the first 2 to play for the right to enter the finals. And the finals will be a best of 7. And this is the first time that the All-Filipino will be conducted in a best of 7.
That's right. Well, it's only fair, I think. After all, this is the most prestigious of the lot.
That's correct.
Incidentally, here's something special for fathers out there. Doña Nena's restaurant will have a special Father's Day dinner for all dads. That means you and me, Mr. Maniego, on Sunday, June 17. And on, hey, there's a dad too. 2 dads, actually.
Calma.
Yes.
Executive Director June Bernardino and Chief Technical Consultant
Chris Aldiosa.
Chris Aldiosa.
Also known as the head of the Academy for referees here in the PBA. Posanes forced that shot. There's going to be a loose ball foul on somebody.
In the meantime, we have the score dead even at 25 with only half a minute left before we move to the second period.
Well, San Miguel might be able to finish this quarter with only 2 fouls unless they give up some here in the closing seconds.
Oh, you better take advantage of this. Get all the stake, Charlemagne, you can. To go. Pumarin. Directing traffic now for the White Shirts, giving Hector Calma some relief, and Dignanese with his second traveling error. Well, looks like Anejo Rum will have a perfect opportunity for that. To the Distrito, where the Big J, the living icon of Philippine basketball, has just gotten himself into harness. They were ahead by 2, 27-25. We're 5 seconds into the second period. There were other fresh legs on the floor there for Anejo, as Chito Loizaga sinks it.
So one of them is Peter Aguilar. Larry Villanil actually checked in sometime late in the first period. Well, for San Miguel Beer, we have Ato Agustin now in the ball game.
Peter Aguilar is on Bobby Jose. Larry Villanil picking up Postanis. And here's Bobby going to France. Pumarin. Hey, that was a daredevil drive. The ball kept alive by Franz himself. Samboy Stern now against Jaworski. No, Agustin, I'm sorry. He's a dead ringer, really, for Samboy, isn't
yes,
he?
the way he moves. This is where San Miguel Beer must try to keep in step with Anejo, because now the bench is coming in and the first stringers are starting to move out.
Forcible entry by Rudy Distrito. A failure. It's 29-25. 4-point lead for Anejo.
Well, Dignanese must conserve himself and not busy himself with tasks of trying to move the ball down court, because that should be the chore of the guards.
That's not his job, clearly.
Especially now that he's the only center left in this team.
Loizaga plucking the ball from the air. Sonny Jaworski bring it down. And this is vintage Jaworski in full display. 31-25.
Well, we can read some of the signs being hoisted here. Jaworski, our hero, and Anejo Ram 65, we're proud of you.
While the Anejo fans proclaiming their undying loyalty to Jaworski and the team. Another fast break being engineered by Rudy Distrito. Larry Villanil found himself in too deep. And in this connection, I'd like to thank Congresswoman Nikki Coseteng, who was your special guest of honor, for having sent me a very nice photograph.
Of that night?
Yes.
Okay.
31-25. Larry Villanil consummates. Ives Dignanese seems to have been stunned by that knockdown. Bobby Jose against Peter Aguilar. Here's Bobby. Door shot to his face, but a foul given up by Peter.
San Miguel Beer able to nurse their fouls, but they're not really playing the tight defense they're noted for.
Nope. Incidentally, pardon us for the oversight. We failed to mention the names of the 3 gentlemen equipped with the whistles tonight. They are Messrs. Ledesma, Rivera, and Chua. Well, the counterpart of June Gregorio for Anejo Ram is Mr. Per Navarro.
Everybody will get a chance to play tonight for San Miguel.
Except Norman Black.
I know he wants to play.
Oh, boy. 33-27. Villanil hits Loizaga hard, but Loizaga fails. The follow-up likewise a failure. Agustin lost his bearings there. Loose ball picked up by the destroyer. In hot pursuit is Franz Pumaren, who simply allowed prudence to be the better part of valor.
And this Rito said, I better not let him catch me again. 9 minutes remaining here in the second period. 8-point lead for Anejo. Well, Anejo starting to learn the value of having a big shot blocker down the middle. They're trying to learn now how to funnel the ball inside to the human eraser, whoever he is.
Well, somebody erased Ives Dignatice from the scene. Look at this again. It was Chito Loizaga in conspiracy with Larry Villanil and Peter Aguilar. Peter Aguilar on the offensive side of the court for Anejo. Rudy Distrito lobs it to low post. Foul. Needless to say, subsequent violations will result in technicals.
Air ball by Peter Aguilar. A quick look at the San Miguel Beer lineup inside. Right now we have Dignatice, Pumaren, Agustin Angeles, and Almario. This is just a shell of what kind of team San Miguel Beer was fielding last year when they won the Grand Slam.
But don't count them out. Pumaren. 35-27, 8-point lead for Anejo. The loose ball battled for Franz Pumaren. Hits the deck after getting banged up.
By Rudy Distrito.
Who else? Three-point bomb explodes again for Chito Loizaga. His second triple B connection tonight.
11-point lead now for Anejo. They're in the double-digit zone with 7 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Team foul picture shows them with 4 against 2 for San Miguel Beer. 7 minutes and 38 left in the first semester of the maiden appearance of the two sister teams in the league, Anejo Rum and San Miguel Beer. The Beermen are the defending champions in this conference. One of 2 remaining thrones that they will be defending this year.
Samboy Lim, Hector Calma back on the floor for San Miguel.
Samboy certainly wasted no time getting back to work. 38-29.
It's only the second basket for San Miguel here in this second quarter.
No explosion that time from Chito Loizaga as Hector Calma brings it downtown for San Miguel. PDB4 wishes to express his regrets over the cancellation of the Banig concert. And I know you will understand this because of the inclement weather. And what did we catch there, Mr. Maniego?
Well, that's perfectly normal behavior during inclement weather.
Oh, I'd love to do that with our producer, Miss Pilar Bustamante. Except that she's about a mile away right now.
Isn't there any rule about propositioning on the air?
That's the only way I can do it. Because in private, she's already spoken for.
Oh, you just drove away everybody from Pilar.
Aguilar misses on the follow-up.
When you mentioned elbow, Aguilar instantly came to mind.
38-31. We're approaching the halfway point of the second period. All right, Anejo is already in penalty, while San Miguel has kept its team fouls down to just 2. Going to be a turnover for the red shirts of Anejo. Norman Black seems to be very worried at this point.
Well, he has reason to be. They're doing everything they can, and they're still down by 7. Perfect smothering defense put up by Ives Dignatice against his former NCC buddy.
Philip Cesar, Mike Advani, Romulo Mamaril, Jaworski himself, and Dante Gonzalgo. Here's the Big J against Samboy. Calma picking up Dante. Oh, it was Agustin who picked up Dante Gonzalgo's miss. 38-31, still a 7-point lead going for Anejo with 6:13 in the balance for the second period. Lim against Jaworski.
Offensive foul on Samboy Lim, forcing the matter against Sonny Jaworski.
Lim.
Jaworski probably telling him that's no way to treat your coach in the national team. Well,
if you will wind up in the national team after that.
Well, I'm sure Sambo is already practically a shoe-in for that national team.
Oh, no question about that.
For the national team?
Why not?
In what?
Why not? He scored 37 points in Vintage's conquest over Duan Radio only last Saturday. Here's a fast break in the works for San Miguel.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, okay. Are you telling me then that they won't be able to do the same thing if they meet again?
Yes, I believe so, although probably get the senior team of our company to play against them. Of course, our senior team boasts of some ex-pros like Joel Bonal and Tata Merced.
That's no fair.
And I think we're playing the Nike Primo tournament, which is a tournament for print media organizations. So if there's a basketball tournament for broadcasters, there's also one for print.
Well, basketball indeed is the best and most popular pastime in this country. As we find a fierce battle for the rebound, and the ball will stay with Anejo.
Well, hopefully also there will be another league involving media men that will be sponsored by the National Press Club pretty soon.
So we're going to have at least 10 leagues going on at the same time.
That's correct. It really is basketball country, Joe. 7-point lead for Anejo with 5 minutes and 23 seconds remaining here in the second period.
Exact tally is 40-33. Agustin gets a nice bone-crunching pick there from Samboy Lim.
That's a foul. We have three former Crispa players on the hardcourt for Anejo. Philip Cesar, Freddy Hubalde, and Romulo Mamaril.
And this really reminds you of that fabled Crispa-Toyota rivalry of old, except that they are now all playing in the same team. Aside Jaworski representing Toyota there, right? Dante Gonzalgo, the only one who wasn't a former Toyotan or Crispan. Here's Dante. Hold it.
Traveling.
He wanted to make sure he was in three-point country. In the process, he lifted his pivot foot.
Probably did the Texas two-step there.
Yes.
Well, not many people remember that Dante Gonzalgo actually began his pro career in the San Miguel uniform of Magnolia about 5 or 6 years ago, or Gold Eagle or something like that.
Well, he did start out with the San Miguel franchise.
That's correct. Ages ago.
42-37.
Well, San Miguel Beer able to stick around, and maybe that's all they need here in this ballgame. Just hang around, Anejo.
And for question number 2 in Sarzi's Angat sa Iba basket trivia, who is the old Black Magic's director? How about that? Who is the old Black Magic's director?
Jaworski, 3 points.
An ICBM exploded by Sonny Jaworski, while I'm still trying to figure out the real question here. Is it who is the old Black Magic, or who is the director? Or who is the old Black Magic's director?
Yeah.
Ayun. In short, who is Norman Black's director?
Yes.
In other words, who is Norman Black's Hector Calma?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Write your name, address, signature, and telephone number in your entries together with 3 Sarzi crowns and drop them at Ultra Drop boxes. And I'm in a very charitable mood tonight. Maybe I'll give him the answers to all the future questions, too. 45-39 is the count. 6-point lead for Anejo. 3:38 left in the first half. Calma against Freddy. Ostanes against Jaworski. They've cleared the right side of the court for him. The isolation play blew up right in their faces. Fast break again being engineered by the red shirts. Here's Jaworski. Gets it right back to Hubalde. Hubalde had a very clear path inside.
That was because somebody moved earth.
Offensive foul, Loizaga.
The heroic of Ubalde was nullified by the offensive foul of Loizaga. We've been talking about Bill Velasco earlier. Well, Bill Velasco will be continuing his series on the PBA team's preparations for this All-Filipino Conference on KP at the half. Coming your way, where else? At halftime. 45-39, 6-point advantage for Anejo. Ignatice with a pump fake, runs into a gauntlet of defenders. He flubbed it. Gonzalgo right down the middle.
Traveling violation, Dante Gonzalgo.
Action continues with San Miguel inbounding. Hector Kamala bringing it downtown. Finally got it safely to the front court for San Miguel Beer with 2 minutes and 47 left in the first half. Bobby Jose in three-point country. Samboy Lim will challenge Dante Gonzalgo anew. Here he comes. Yes. Samboy has already belched fire to the tune of 8 points.
But they still need a lot more from him to challenge Anejo Ram 65, especially in the second half.
Well, Anejo Ram is still up by 4, 45-41. Here is Philip Cesar. Frontal assault to the basket against Samboy Lim himself. Back to a 6-point lead for Anejo. You know, the rejuvenation of Philip Cesar, not only in the All-Filipino, but also in the All-Star game, has been nothing short of amazing. Bobby Jose's drive is a failure. Postanes travels.
With under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter, Anejo protecting a 6-point lead.
Freddy Ubalde keeps it alive for Anejo. Look at that.
Well, we have 2 guys on the floor for Anejo, Cesar and Jaworski, both members of that club, along with Atoy Comon, Fernandez.
Foul, Calma.
It's also, I mean, Freddy Ubalde, some more notes on him. He's also closing in on 2,000 assists. He needs just 27 more.
So, Freddy Ubalde is gunning for history in the next few ball games of Anejo as Dante Gonzalgo comes out of nowhere to save the situation for the 65ers. They're up by 8 now, 49-41. Here's Hector Calma picking up speed against Freddy Ubalde and a whole phalanx of defenders. The defense worked. Sonny Jaworski brings it to the other end of the floor. Rejected 2. 49-41, 8-point lead for Anejo. Team foul picture, Anejo already in penalty as far back as 2 minutes ago, while San Miguel is on the verge of it with 6. Jose got a nice assist there from the Dragon.
Ball knocked away by Freddy Ubalde.
Hector gets into position for the air ball. No saving grace there from Angeles, neither from Bobby Jose. Here's the Big J, Chito Loizaga. The express train got to the destination again.
So, 4 straight points by Anejo gives them a 10-point lead once again, 51-41.
This is their second double-digit spread, eh?
Yes.
Only 30 seconds before both clubs repair to the locker room for the halftime break. Postanes.
Not his shot.
Not his night. Ooh, look at that.
No foul.
Angeles hooked Philip Cesar in the air with him. Here's Philip. I think he's sore. Loizaga from the corner. 2 red shirts disputing the offensive rebound, but too late for anything else. That should do it for